thought on the tax on unrealized capital gains. So this resentment at how the wealthy are becoming wealthier, I kind of understand that it's a rigged game and bad education for the young and the poor, bad neighborhoods and so on, and a lot of barriers to entry, a lot of regulations and so on. But here's how it's going to play out. I mean, this is the law of unintended consequences is all over the place with government economics. So if you're going to start taxing unrealized capital gains, you're going to actually impoverish the middle class and the poor, make them poorer, and you're going to make the wealthier richer. And I'll tell you how. I've had experience actually raising capital for a business that I co-founded in the 90s. It's tough to raise capital when you're new and young and hungry and unproven, and I was, coming from a poor background and so on. I had a lot of skill and talent, I think, but, didn't have much business experience and so on. So the reason that you fund poor kids with a dream is because you can make a lot of money on the upside, right? You can get your 20x, your 40x, whatever it's going to be, right? You're just going to give money to hungry young kids. You'll lose a bunch, but you might make a bunch in a couple of concerns. Kind of how venture capitalism works, right? So you lose a lot of money on 19, but then you make $1 billion on the 20th, right? So the way it's going to play out, very simple, very boring, very easy to see. They start taxing unrealized capital gains. What that means is that investment capital for hungry, lean, young, poor kids like myself will dry up because they just can't make the kind of money that they would have made prior because unrealized capital gains are going to be taxed. So it's just going to dry up. What that means, of course, is that the large established multinational mega corporations are going to get more and more of a monopoly on the market because all the money that they raised in order to start their businesses was not taxed in this unrealized capital gain stuff. So the big corporations are not going to be worried about smaller corporations, smaller entrepreneurial concerns, nipping at their heels and undercutting them or anything like that. Job opportunities, entrepreneurial opportunities through investment for poor and middle class kids is going to completely dry up or largely dry up. And the big corporations are going to end up with more of a monopoly. They won't have as much competition nipping at them, so they can raise their prices, they can treat their customers worse. They're all dinosaurs. They don't have to worry about the mammals or the comets, I suppose. So what's going to happen is they're going to crank up their prices, and then everyone's going to end up working for them rather than starting their own businesses because you can't get investment because of the unrealized capital gains thing has really dried up your upside. So it's just going to end up with the rich getting richer and the poor and the middle class being stuck where they are as employees, and the wealth gap, the wage gap, the income gap is all going to widen, and then everyone's going to be like, wow, we hate the rich even more now. And I kind of get where people are coming from, but every government program achieves the exact opposite of its stated goal, and this is how this one will play out, guaranteed.